Hello, hello. Welcome to Shine 2022. I'm Fusion. I am joined by Brushstrokes.
Howdy, howdy.
And we are here to cast day one of the Splatoon 2 tournament. So we are going to be seeing right now a tournament of 9 different teams. There's 2 main groups, 2 waves of pools. We're going to be seeing, I believe, a round robin within each group, and then tomorrow will be the final group stage. I am very excited to get to commentate this and play in it a little bit later. How are you feeling?
I am so excited to get to be here. There are only so many opportunities to sit down and play Splatoon in person with other people, and Shine seems to be a wonderful opportunity to do that. And clearly our teams agree here. Acropora versus Stargaze is going to be our first lineup here, our first matchup. How are you feeling about this set?
I think this could go either way. Yesterday, there was the Bad Ideas Only Wheel of Doom tournament. And I believe both of these teams did pretty well in that tournament. I think both of them might have gone 2-1. Stargaze might have gone 3-1. I'm actually not positive. That tournament was you spin a wheel and then a crazy rule happens. Like everyone has to play with stick controls. Everyone's playing GooTuber on Albacore Hotel. A lot of crazy rules going on. Here we are just playing vanilla, regular Splatoon 2, and I feel like if I didn't point this out, it would be bad of me. But going on right now, the North American Splatoon 3 test fire is going on. So pull that up in the background. Come listen to this cast. We'll hang out and send off Splatoon 2 while we can. It looks like the maps have finally come up, and it looks like the first one is going to be Clam Blitz on Piranha Pit.
Yeah, I mean, a map mode that honestly could help either team here. Skep of Acropora, a known blob and undercover Brella player, obviously going to have some fun here using those long straightaways towards the goal. But at the same time, Stargaze, RDB being a Brella player, that's one of those maps is if you can get a Tenterbrella going down that center, it can be so difficult to play a solid defense. Non-traditional, non-4-shooter comps from both of these teams, and it's always so much fun to watch, Fusion.
Yeah, absolutely. I think this can be one of those maps that snowballs very quickly.
Absolutely.
It's a lot of the clams end up spawning in the middle of the map, but it's also very difficult to get back in on this map. So, like you said, I think Tenterbrella can be a very strong pick here, as it is on, I think, a whole bunch of clams maps.
Yeah, and I mean, Acropora has I think, a little bit more of a traditional comp relative to Stargaze. Skep, obviously that blob, and undercover Brella, very untraditional today's meta. But otherwise, I'm looking at their loadout here. They've got general anchor players playing some heavies, some hydras, some slatlings. And then like T-Tech Neosplash and a support Zap player. So very, very traditional from them on the whole. I think that blob obviously gives them an edge maybe in traditional tournaments where there's a lot of shooters. But something that's great about being here in person is that we're not all playing with our normal team of 4 roster.
Oh, yeah.
And that synergy that Acropora is going to be able to capitalize. But Stargaze, with an untraditional comp here, maybe able to throw some of Acropora's medicine back at them.
Yeah, let's see what they seem to be running. Looks like we've got Yeet, who tends to play the Glugadoolies. We may see Jet, Dynamo, or Zap Snow. Brellas and Sloshers, I believe they were playing some Splat Brella yesterday in that tournament. And then Jolly Bird, who's got a whole array of the aggro frontliners. T-Tech, Neosplash, K-Shot, all that good stuff. So a whole bunch of different strategies we could see coming out here. And it's always great to see both teams getting kind of animated and, everyone's acknowledging the cans. And I can't wait to see some reactions coming out on both sides. But it actually looks like Stargaze coming out with a very strong team strategy here. And they've got 4 cat ears. they greatly outnumber Acropora 4-1 in terms of cat ears. So
But I mean, that said, it's cat ears here versus Team Jersey, and that is
It's true.
the tried and true esports, but also general sports strategy to build up some hype. And I'm not sure if y'all have been hearing on headset, but behind us is Acropora doing some claps every once in a while. I think to build some synergy, maybe trying to line those up together. The excitement I can feel radiating off of them and everyone else in the area watching on.
yeah, absolutely. Looks like we are going to be heading into the weapon select stage here. Both teams are going to be deciding on their comps. I don't know if we'll be able to peek over there and get a little preview, but nonetheless, I think these teams are going to be, or this set's going to be pretty back and forth between Acropora and Stargaze. So yeah, this will be fun.
So here we go. Game 1 of pools at Shine 2022. Nerves are high, you know. You're setting up your expectations for the rest of the tournament with a round robin like this. And unlike a normal tournament, I mean, here you're in person. You can look over your monitor and look at your opponent in the eyes, as Acropora gives us another one of their claps. The nerves are difficult to top here.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I talked about the energy, but it goes both ways, is that these players are feeling that as crushing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've certainly felt that when I've been competing. But in addition to that, there's this kind of LAN-only feeling of where's the internet lag? It's not there. Things are much more responsive on LAN. So certain weapons, maybe Brella included, have a better time on LAN. We'll see if the Brella comes out. We got a tent on one side, no Brella on the other. The dualies do end up coming out, though, as looks like balanced comps on both sides, but a very interesting kind of slower comp coming out from Acropora here.
Mothman rocking that heavy deco. That's going to be able to give them some bubbles, but not if they go down early, and that's the first pick of the map. Stargaze up 4-3 here. Acropora trying to hold on for something, but not able to find anything as I think that was Rush goes down. Now a 2v3 situation as the trade is taken, RDB going down, trades everywhere, but now finally Stargaze has found a good, or Acropora is on respawn, sorry, and they found a good lead. Skep here looking for an opportunity, but they are going to go down as Bear pops this inkjet, not quite able to capitalize off the first couple picks here.
Yeah. The retreat just happened a little bit just in time, actually, for the inkjet. You know, if you don't get hit by the inkjet's first shot and you have time to dodge it, it kind of just becomes a special where they start dodging. JB popping that inkjet in response to the shield. It's great at breaking that, but both teams kind of struggling in neutral here. Neither team is able to get too big an advantage here, but Acropora did manage to survive that encounter and hang on to quite a few clams. So here comes Stargaze up on that right side, trying to paint it out. The Tentabrella and Blob combo coming out very strong. The hammer's going to come in, but JB shuts it down.
Every special I've seen Acropora pop, they have not been able to quite capitalize. They're in okay enough positions to pop it. We saw the inkjet earlier, we see the hammer there. But time and time again, they're struggling to find the picks they want out of it. So even if it's not the specials here that's going to give them the advantage, they're going to find a player advantage. But it's their duty now, once they get these specials ready, to pop them and move in. And they have to synergize well to keep going.
Yeah, Bear over on that right side does have that inkjet ready. Just barely enough clams for a power, but yeah, Bear is still just kind of sharking over on this right side. Yeah, it does look like Acropora is setting up to push that left, or Stargaze is pushing that right side. Kills, the 10 of missiles coming in with that bucket. Some very nice kills. The jet shuts down the push, though. Bear gets a kill post-mortem and able to slow down this push coming in from Stargaze. One power clam comes in. They don't get taken out. Yeek gets a couple very nice picks, and the floodgates are open. The clams start coming in. 4 more clams from the bucket coming in. Skep gets taken down by RDB. Rush is trying to come in from behind them, and the tent is going to come in and slow down this push a little more. Again, all the clams are in mid, so the clams are coming in very slowly, and it looks like Acropora is coming in from mid. The push is still going. Snow under the basket, trying to keep it open. The clams are just
They have clams to end it here.
They're trickling in, but where are the other clams? There it goes, the power. Yeet coming in. Countdown only to 4.
And though the Clams are going to respawn there, it's going to be Acropora finally able to take back control. This is what you talked about before we started Fusion. The snowballs that are on this map. We saw Mothman being the last one up, trying to defend that hold and just not able to hold on long enough. And that allowed for Stargaze to open up the floodgates, as you said, and keep the pressure going. So that's how you get a push down to 4. And that's going to be a very difficult push to beat if you're Acropora. You need to effectively knock out if you want to hold on to this game.
Yeah, but again, as it is a very snowbally map that can work the other direction, a full knockout, Bear does get a nice pick there from that defensive Inkjet, and it looks like Bear's going to try and push up on that right side to avenge a teammate. They don't quite get it. Are they going to chase down that power claim? They try to, but Yeet makes quick work of that. The Dualies, quick accuracy check on that Gluga Dualies with another kill. Getting those max range roll kills coming out. Again, Snow has enough clams to knock it out, I think. Snow trying to come in and knock out the push there. 2 more clams. They do get it.
What a beautiful way to end that game. You get the first push all the way down to 4, and all you need is a little bit more energy to wipe them out. I mean, we talked about the mental game a lot in that once you've been pushed all the way down to 4, it's so hard to find your footing. If you do, you can get the reverse push, you can move all the way in, and that is strong, but it's so hard to get there, especially when you've got all the nerves on top of being at a land like Shine.
My God. Yeah, I mean, just thinking about that push, Yeet dropped 18 KA there, and that was only like a 3-minute game or something like that. That was pretty insane. Yeah, over on this right side, you can kind of see the start of Stargaze's push over here. Yeah, so those just big pushes from Stargaze lasted a long time. We see some highlights from Acropora here. They were able to hold their ground for quite a while, but Stargaze just kind of, that one push, they were able to stay alive. And I think those few kills they got right after they opened the basket, that's like the critical moment, right? Like
Absolutely.
Right here.
Yeah, and we saw Yeet going off a bit with those Kensa Glugas. And that's something you talked a little bit. You touched on the latency aspect, and Brellas really benefit from that. But something like a Glugas is going to do the same thing. You're rolling out just a couple frames earlier, and there's no desync, and so you're going to stay alive. You're going to be able to back up, and then you're going to be able to re-engage instead of losing the 5 seconds to the respawn. And so that led to Yeet able to open up these plays and find the picks that really open up the door for Stargaze to get such powerful pushes.
Absolutely, yeah, after a very strong push, it's on Acropora to try and rebound from that situation. And it does look like we are going to be going into Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy. I'd say this is the final destination of Splatoon 2. Shut up about Walleye. Why? Where did that come from? Or even Moray Towers. It's this.
Yeah, I mean, Splat Zones Inkblot Art Academy is one of those maps that it kind of, in my opinion, falls into this pitfall of zones that once you get the lockout, if you can get set up, no way anyone's breaking in. You have to burn specials to get your bats back. You have to burn specials to get your plat, and only then do you need to find the gas to get into zone and find the picks and find the specials and then find the cap. So if either of these teams can get an early hold and really set up that lockout, this game might end in a minute. That said, it's also a map that is really difficult to be a clean winner at. I mean, there's a lot of maps where you go, oh yeah, with an E-leader, you just win. And I think Inkblot does a really good job at not falling into that, in that you can really craft a strategy around anything, something that Acropora and Stargaze, based on their comps, clearly have spent a lot of time thinking about.
Yeah, I think one of the keys on this map is going to be not dropping in too quickly onto your plat, which is the plat is the area, the elevated area right by the zone. So that's on each team's side. So if you drop onto that area, it kind of enables the other team to push up at you. So the kind of key is push in there when your team is ready, when you have those specials, and and trying to dislodge whoever on the enemy team is sitting up on that high ground in the zone.
Absolutely. Splat Zones Inkblot Art Academy, a favorite, I think, from a lot of people, as you're saying,
yes.
Final destination, and a map mode that these players are very familiar with. It is a staple, I think, of nearly every tournament you play in, and it allows for that strategy crafting and that planning. We saw Acropora doing their little claps earlier, but I think the team synergy goes beyond that, and that is something that we're definitely going to see shine here and throughout the rest of this set.
Shine?
Shine here.
Shine here. Where's shine here.
Shine at Shine. Shine at Shine 2022. You know, actually, it's not a 4-0 cat ears. I don't know if you see what I'm seeing, but I think that's
No,
Skep.
I said 4-1.
Did
yeah,
you say 4-1?
it's
Skep,
4-1.
Skep with the
Skep's got
cat ears, fighting back a little bit, you know?
Yeah, they got a shot, not
You
a
got-
complete wipeout.
a little bit of mental game can go pretty far, and we're seeing that with more claps here.
We'll see
from
if
Skep.
We'll see if Acropora can come out top dog in this next game here as we head into Splat Zones on Inkblot Art Academy. Here we go. Similar comp, no Tentabrillo this time, and actually the K-Pro, I love to see that. We haven't seen K-Pro much in a while. All that main power up, no longer in Splat 3, but take advantage of it while it's here. Very nice kind of mid-range kill power, and we'll see what happens. But already it looks like Stargaze is trying to take control of that top mid area, and Acropora is taking a slower push here, but it seems to be working out for them. Trade's going pretty even in the middle here. Acropora kind of at a loss for what to do. Rush trying to escape. They do manage to get out, so saving their team that wipe, but Stargaze gets that first hold.
Double missiles coming out from Stargaze here is going to be super important. If they hold the missiles, Stargaze popping those armors pretty early there. That's going to give them some callouts and actually a pick. So maybe that's actually very good special usage there. Skep around this left side looking for an opportunity, but you have to beat the player advantage. And there it is. Acropora finally in a player advantage. A 4v3 as Booyah comes out from Stargaze. That's Inkstorm and Suction Bomb Rush on the side of Acropora as they now drop Skep along the left side. Another two go down on the right, and there's Skep down to a bomb. A 4v1 situation without zone cap. And Stargaze now is looking at a knockout. They got to set up again. They're in a position, but they can keep this going. JB popping missiles early once again.
Yeah, so trying to get people to drop from that upper area, which is Bats. Very nice kill. JB sneaking in. The Stingray trying to get the revenge kill. Snow with the assist, though. That Ink Armor. Oh my goodness. JB coming in. That's Ink Armor saving them from the Stingray, and JB taking advantage of that, getting a very nice kill with that fall-off damage on the T-Tech. Here they go for one more. Can they get it? They do, and that timer's all the way down to 10. JB trying to finish them off. Gets one pick, gets a second, and that's going to be 2-0 Stargaze.
If they can get the caviar, JB going for the quad. That's a full quad for JB and 5 picks back to back. JB able to hold down space. Watch that ramp. Watch the Bats area. You saw them with that fall-off pick, and that is huge. I talked about getting a lockout and holding on to it, and JB single-handedly able to make up for any players that went down in zone by getting behind the opponent and finding the picks another way.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal about flanks, is that the entire point isn't necessarily to... I mean, when everyone thinks about flanks, you're like, oh, I'm going to go into the enemy base, I'm going to get some kills, they're not going to see me. But half the point is, you go over to the side so that the enemy can't forget about you. You saw JB waited on that left side until Acropora had to make a move, and then JB was able to push up onto the plat while they weren't paying attention.
The only thing I can say watching these replays back is skin of their teeth. Look at JB barely holding on, taking so many hits, but it doesn't matter. If you can find the pick and swim away, it's a fought well won. And so ultimately, when it comes down to it, it doesn't matter how many hits JB is taking if they're staying alive and finding the picks. So one after another, after another, after another. And yeah, I mean, you can't break into zone if you're dead. Acropora with another clap here. Hey. Looking to get going. The mental game is strong.
It's true. They got to hype themselves up. They've got those matching jerseys. Synergy is going to come out here. Third match is Tower Control on Starfish main stage. Not going to be a returning stage in Splat 3 as far as we know. It could be. But yeah, this is a very kind of fast-paced... Gosh, words. Anyone.
Fast-paced,
Fast-paced match.
But hey, it is match point now for Stargaze. They're up 2-0, 2 knockouts to no points for Acropora, really. Actually, no points in either games. So 100-0 to 100-0, both of these sets. Stargaze looking to take a quick round 1 with a 3-0. As comps come out, we see Skep moving to the Pensa Undercover Bro. That's going to give them a double armor, yes, with that zap combo. And on the other side, a Sorella. So very similar comps here, but it's going to be Stargaze taking the early advantage.
Yeah, 2 quick kills, 3 quick kills. The Heavy seems to smartly have backed out. Yep, there's the jump. They're going to have those bubbles probably for that second checkpoint. Once you kind of lose the initial fight, this fight for the first checkpoint is it's a little bit free. It's kind of protected by that big block in mid. Yeet trying to set up for some kills over on that left side. We do actually see, like you said, undercover Brella. We do see the Brella on the other side. An excellent tower riding pick here for from that spot Brella. But it looks like NZap's actually, Snow on the NZap's going to be riding the tower. All that fire on the second checkpoint is going to slow them down, but Stargaze still all 4 members up.
Rush struggling to stay alive there as they move towards the tower. They need to hold on to this checkpoint if they want to stay in an equal position in this game. And this pair up between Mothman and Skep is going to help a lot, forcing their opponents out. And there's the last jump. That's basically a full wipe for Acropora as they now push back into mid. They needed to hold on to that second checkpoint, and they did. That's going to allow them to move back up, get the first free checkpoint, as you put it. But later on, hold on and get a bigger push move.
Absolutely. Yeah. Here comes that Inkjet trying to get that first early pick. They don't get that quick early pick, so it's going to be very difficult for them. Acropora using those specials but not able to get in. The tower rolls into that first checkpoint. The bubbles coming out. I love these bubbles. They protect the tower, but Mothman doing everything they can to survive at the checkpoint. They're not able to get it. Acropora is going to have to back up. Very nice kind of challenge on that checkpoint from Stargaze. Yeah.
Stargaze putting a price tag on free and not allowing Acropora to get that first checkpoint. It adds another barrier to pushing in, another checkpoint, if you will. And Acropora now has to burn specials again just to get the first check. They are coming from behind in this game as the tower resets in mid.
Yeah, here comes that armor from Acropora trying to get in towards the tower over here. Potentially, it seems to be working out actually. 2 members over on that left side. That Suction getting 1 early pick. Yeet goes down as well. 2 down on Stargaze. 1's on the left. 1 seems to be over on that right flank. The Inkjet is not going to be able to get the pick, so it all comes down to whether they're able to deal with that T-Tech sitting over there.
Look at this pinch. RDB on the right side, JB on the other. That means that the tower has no space to move. And with a bomb rush coming out from RDB, they're going to find a nice pick in a 3-down situation. Their job is to move up here and find this last one, not let them get away for free. And that's exactly what RDB is doing here, pushing all the way up into the sniper. You're looking for another pick. They're on the ground. They're not going to quite find it, and they're going to be able to just hold this spot smoothly. Oh, but going down to rush there as they push back into mid, that could be a game-defining play.
Yeah, I mean, we kind of saw the Brella with their trusty chicken leading the way, the auto bomb, showing them exactly where they need to push to find the enemy. And here we go, JB trying to escort this tower into the checkpoint. Here's the Brella on the tower. It looks like they're going to get the checkpoint, and they do. Stargaze does get past that very difficult checkpoint. 2 members of Stargaze trying to keep Acropora stuck in that corner over there, but it looks like Skep's going to come out on top, and they're finally going to shut down this push and have another opportunity.
Checkpoint is fallen, so that means that when Stargaze gets another push moving, if they do, it's going to steamroll right down to the 3rd checkpoint. And that is very important that Acropora now does not give that space to happen. Mothman riding this tower is going to do everything in their power to hold on and keep the tower at least advancing forward or showing up blue so they get that passive special. But they need picks in a 3v3 situation with missiles popped for Stargaze. Now Bubbles, armor on line as well for Acropora. They're not going to quite find the pick they want, and it's just going to be Rush Alive trying to make a hero play, going down to Yeet there. And Stargaze now once again has the upper foot, able to move forward and just steamroll ahead.
Yeah, I mean, they've had such a good defense on that first checkpoint, and Acropora just has not been able to clear out members from that snipe there. I think, yeah, we already see the K-shot, if we can see the numbers. 12 KA already coming out from the K-shot. Yeet trying to challenge 2 with that burst bomb. That excellent pinch coming out from Yeet and another member of Stargaze. The Dualies trying to roll in and finish off the team. The undercover has no shield,
Yeet with 3.
and they go down. Yeet gets another.
Barely surviving a bomb there as they move up. Yeet is hungry for this quad. They're not going to quite find it, and finally going down there to Mothman. It's a 3v3 situation as respawns come out for Acropora. The checkpoint slowly shifting forward. And that's going to be super important here as the tower though gets reset. Finally, Acropora able to get control as we lost feed for a couple seconds there.
Yeah, Mothman over on this right side. This is like a classic heavy flank here as they try and get over there. But those suction bombs are going to make it very difficult. The bubbles keep them alive briefly. The bubbles have kind of come out a few times right before Mothman's gone down. Stargaze shutting everything down. Skep's the last hope for Acropora. And Stargaze is going to take it with a very convincing 3-0.
You know, not quite the KO 100-0 point score that we saw from the last two, but Stargaze able to find space and take it and move forward. We saw that in the Clam Blitz game on Piranha Pit. That was super important to them. They found space, they moved forward, and they got the basket open. They found space on the zones map. They pushed on the plat. We saw, was it JB taking up so much space, going on those flanks and finding opportunities. And we saw it here, the tower slowly inching forward. That's what this game is all about. Stargaze able to constantly find space and find the picks with it.
Absolutely. I think tower control especially is one of those very kind of mobile, it's an interesting game mode. The tower moves forward and you have to move along with it. You don't just defend it from behind. You lead the way, you hold space rather than just necessarily always moving forward. It kind of defines where you push and when you push it, whether to go or to stay. And yeah, I think that this whole variety of different modes is part of what makes Splat Comp so interesting.
Something I really enjoyed here about Stargaze's comp is they ran those Kensa dualies, and that's not. It's not something we've seen a lot recently, or really ever. Kensa dualies specifically, I know very, very early on in Splatoon 2, and parries were a big meta weapon. But finding that beautiful double, that pinch, that beautiful pick with the ball, or getting those two, proves that, you know, sometimes unconventional loadouts or weapons can work if you play them correctly. And, you know, two teams head-to-head with something untraditional, one has to come out on top, and it's going to be Stargaze with a convincing 3-0.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about, or looking at that moment of two armored members of Stargaze popping out around the corner and Mothman just praying the bubbles
Right.
protect me.
Yeah, I mean, it's difficult as a backline, especially with those bubbles, heavy deco. Although, you know, a little more common on a map mode like Tower Control Starfish Main Stage, by far not a common pick we see in Splatoon 2 competitive.
Yeah, I think a while ago, Heavy was pretty popular earlier in the lifetime of Splat 2, and Bubbles especially. I think Heavy Deco was a pretty solid pick, especially before Remix came out, and then Remix was really popular for a while. But we've seen different players have success with different bubble weapons over time, even without the insta-pop. So that's kind of like one of those things that defines weapons, right? Like Squeezer is kind of known for that. Just they toss out the bubbles and boom, everything goes up in flames. K Jr. also does that, and that's kind of what they're known for. But bubbles on like backlines or weapons that don't do it instantly, they're still pretty valuable, even though we don't see it all that often.
Yeah, and I mean, that's one of the luxuries I think we're going to continue to get today, is we're going to see maybe some less traditional stuff. Obviously, as we get through the tournament, I think our front runners might say, you know what, maybe for this set I run the K-Shot, maybe for this set I run the N-Zap. But especially here early in pools, we get to see this experimentation, and it really pushes this game to levels we don't get to see every day, and to places that maybe are not so conventional.
Absolutely. Looks like the next thing we're going to be seeing, Stargaze back on the stage, and they're going to be up against Efficient Ignorance this time.
Our winners of the last set, 3-0 in a convincing fashion. Stargaze trying to prove their place as maybe a front runner in this pool, and obviously Efficient Ignorance with a name like that.
Oh my God!
Maybe want to be ignorant to the future of ahead.
I'm no Pikmin expert, but it's that Pikmin guy.
It's
the Pikman.
It is one of them. I don't know the game. Something about leaves and tunneling. Here you go. Efficient Ignorance. Another team with a backline that it looks like here they're going to flex to 96. That's Domin. The Hydra, an armor weapon, or normally the Deco variant, the Hydra weapon, or the armor weapon. But maybe we'll see something a little more experimental with those splashdowns coming out. But overall, I mean, it looks much more traditional from their comp. Shooters plus a backline, the backline flexing to 96, another shooter.
Yeah, we could potentially see Joe Mama. We could see Joe Mama on that splat roller. Yeah.
But even then,
which is always fun to see.
I feel like Splat Roller, much more commonly carbon is what comes out competitively. So super interesting seeing here maybe Efficient Ignorance wanting to not go for that. But hey, one of our notes here, Team of Smash players. Here we go. We're at Shine 2022. A Smash Bros. Melee, I think, first event is fair to say. But hey, we're running Splatoon 2. We're having a ton of fun here. And Smash players want to get in on the action. So Efficient Ignorance going head-to-head with a very strong team, Stargaze.
Yeah, so I mean, with the big with the announcement of Splatoon 3 and as well as some other things like, for example, Squid House, which happened, God, was that 2 years ago now?
Yeah,
That was 2 years ago now. Yeah, we've kind of seen more kind of crossover in events. Splatoon being at Smash primary events rather than, just kind of, oh, this LAN has everything event. And I'm hoping that continues up into Splat 3. And hopefully we'll see even more Smash players coming into Splatoon, as it seems like Splatoon 3 is turning out to be a pretty technical game. There's some crazy things going on. You were practicing your you're like, okay, I haven't booted up the tutorial. I'm going to boot up the tutorial and let's practice. Yes, only practice my tech before I played a moment of this game.
I mean, I've done my best to try to avoid a lot of that stuff on Twitter and a lot of the how the game is going, but yeah, no, I showed up this morning and we sat right down at the Splatoon 3 station where everyone's playing in the testing area or in the lobby, and just went for these roles. And yeah, technical indeed. But I don't want to minimize the tech of Splatoon 2, and that's clearly something that Stargaze has been practicing here as we get ready to move in. Splat Zones on New Albacore Hotel is going to be our first match. Not the most competitive, consistent map.
Yeah, I don't think this is too bad a map. I'd say it's the best of all of the maps that people don't put in competitive. So this is an interesting mode, interesting stage on Splat Zones here. Looks like
early swim.
Yep, we got a 2-DOS. A little bit of bath time coming out on the side of Stargaze, and that's going to potentially help them open the zone here. Bako